Blanche!
Oh, dear, Dorothy, can you help me to the chair? Oh, my back gave out.
I figured that would have been about the third thing to go.
Honey, what happened?
Well, I was in my aerobics class when I noticed this gorgeous man checking me out. So during the buttocks lifts, he motioned for my phone number. Well, I didn't want to appear easy, so I rolled over on my back and flung my legs over my head.
That's what I call giving him the brush off.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi, Blanche.
Honey, how's your back?
Terrible.
What'd the doctor say?
Well, after commenting that I am the most spectacular specimen of the female anatomy he has seen since Miss Julie Newmar, he said I have a back problem.
Thank God you went to a specialist.
He said no physical activity for a week. I have to wear a corset and stay on my back with my legs elevated.
That's the same thing you did last Saturday.
He's always been a little flighty.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Grandma Hollingsworth always said I was a little flighty. Or was it a little floozy? Oh, girls, for the first time in my life, my body feels old. I feel like I can't do the same things I used to.
Rubber woman couldn't do the same things you used to.
Well, I remember the first time I felt I was getting older. I was visiting my daughter in New York. She had one of those walk-up apartments, 5 flights up. Oh, it got harder and harder each year to climb those stairs. And finally, one year, I couldn't make it without stopping. Oh, it depressed me for weeks.
Oh, my God. Is that what I have to look forward to 15 years from now? Oh, Dorothy, do you realize it has been 4 days since I have enjoyed the company of a man?
I know, Blanche. I've been marking the days off on my big ships of the Navy calendar.
I don't think I can stand it much longer. My body feels like a Corvette up on blocks with its engine racing and the wheels just spinning and spinning with nowhere to go. I feel like I'm going to explode. Dorothy, you have to help me. You have to do something.
Honey, there's nothing I can do, so get that look out of your eye and let go of my hand. Rose, what would you call a girl who sleeps with a man she has known for 1 day?
A damn good sport. These things do happen. Why, the same thing happened to me when I was in my early 20s. I was taking some classes at Miss MacGyver's finishing school. And one night, Bobby Joe Springer had escorted me back to my dormitory after the annual Fine Manners Ball, when an innocent goodnight kiss developed into an evening of passion. But at 3 a.m., the door flung open, and there stood Miss MacGyver, making one of those bed checks she was famous for. Well, I tried to handle the whole thing like a lady. I waved politely over Bobby Joe's shoulder with my foot. Next day, she sat me down, gave me a stern lecture, and kicked me out of school. Only I didn't care. I knew what ecstasy was. All she could do was walk around with a dictionary on her head. Girls, how do I look?
Blanche, where are you going?
I have a date.
I thought the doctor said you were to take it easy.
He did, but I'm just going stir crazy. I have to get out of this house.
Blanche, I think you should stick to the doctor's orders.
I think Dorothy's right.
Oh, nonsense. Who knows my body better than I do?
Any man in Miami not attached to a woman or a respirator.
I know how you feel about animals, and since we're breeding mink for fur, eventually they're going to have to be killed, and I just didn't think you'd go for it.
Do they have to be killed? No, Rose. Many women like wearing coats that urinate.
They need an aphrodisiac.
An African what?
An aphrodisiac. It's a substance that makes you feel sexy.
Really?
Yes.
Like what?
Like Spanish fly.
Spanish flies?
Fly, Rose. One fly.
Oh, come on, Dorothy. I've been to Spain. It's not the cleanest country in the world. They've got thousands of flies. Valencia alone.
It is not a fly, Rose.
Spanish fly is not a fly?
No.
What is it?
It's a beetle.
They call it a fly, but it's really a beetle?
Yes.
How do they know it's Spanish?
Because it wears a little sombrero, Rose.
Well, why don't they just call it a beetle? Spanish beetle.
Because they call it Spanish fly.
Well, then what do they call their fly?
I don't care, Rose! Forget it. I don't care. The minks can just sit there and we'll lose all our money. I don't care. Just don't mention Spanish fly to me ever again.
They eat their weight in food every day.
When I'm depressed, so do I.
You can tell us. What is it?
I'm pregnant.
Blanche, are you sure?
I just did a home pregnancy test. It's right here.
It looks like a perfume sample.
Put it behind your ears, Rose.
See, it starts out red, and then if it doesn't change color, if it stays red, they say you're not pregnant. But if you are pregnant, then it turns light pink or light gray.
I had drapes that color once. I think it's called puce.
Is that what puce is? I always wondered.
That's what the decorator told me.
Looks kind of lavender to me.
Oh, I hated those drapes.
Lavender's a great color on me. Brings out my eyes.
Your eyes aren't lavender.
Girls!
We had a pig once. All the male pigs loved her. Oh, she was very beautiful. And she got pregnant, and we never knew who the father was.
Oh, my God, Rose, what did you do on Father's Day?
My body will never come back from this one.
It barely came back from the last one.
Blanche! Blanche, what happened? Blanche! Blanche!
She's in there.
Really, Columbo?
I'm not pregnant. It's worse. It's menopause.
It's nothing. Look at it this way. You don't get cramps once a month. You don't go on eating binges once a month. You don't get crazy once a month.
You just grow a beard.
I never grew a beard.
You never grew brains either.
But, you know, I don't know. Maybe he's just too down to earth and nice and decent for me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sophia, but the answer's no.
Fine, break an old lady's heart. If you need me, I'll be out back with the rest of the garbage.
Don't worry, she'll get over it.
And even if she doesn't, who cares? We're gonna meet Burt
I'll be all right. You all go schmooze with Bert and his Hollywood buddies. I'll just stay here and hack myself unconscious.
Well, that's being a good sport. All that manliness in one room, in one crowded room, one hot, crowded room. Everybody's steamy bodies all pressed up against each other.
Blanche. Relax, you're about to set off the smoke detector.
Girls, you see that man over there staring at me? He's undressing me with his eyes.
Do you want to move to another table?
Not yet. He's only half done.
Girls who'll take their money. Do you know what he thinks we are?
Waitresses?
No, Rose. Hookers.
To transport all of you downtown.
Downtown? He means jail.
Oh, really, Rose? I thought he meant Neiman Marcus.
We're all innocent.
Quiet, you trash.
Cannot believe it. Arrested. I've never been in jail in my entire life.
Relax, honey. With as many notches you must have on your garter belts, it was bound to happen.
Officer, a grievous injustice has been perpetrated upon my friends and me. We are totally innocent. We're just 3 helpless females, desperately in need of a big, strong, strapping man like yourself. Ooh, what cute earrings.
I'm gonna tear you apart.
Listen, you punk. You want to fight with someone, you're going to have to fight with me. But I warn you, I did time in Attica.
Attica's a men's prison.
I know. I was there a year before they found out.
Ma, thank God you're here.
Arrested for prostitution. I can't believe it, Sophia.
Sophia, we're innocent.
I know that. I can't believe these dumb cops would think anyone would pay money to sleep with you.
Where are your roommates, Mrs. Petrillo?
They're not here.
Ma!
Don't ma me, you cheap floozy.
Ma, you would do this to your own flesh and blood.
You'll get over it, Dorothy. And if you don't, who cares? I'm on my way to see Burt Reynolds. Jealousy is a very ugly thing, Dorothy. And so are you in anything backless. Oh, I hurt my back. I'm paralyzed, Sophia. Oh, it's you. Look where you're going.
Mrs. Claxton, how lovely to see you again.
Who are you?
I'm your neighbor, Blanche Devereaux.
Oh, yeah. I didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
I beg your pardon?
With my binoculars, I have a terrific view in your bedroom window. I think some of the stuff you do is illegal. I'm looking into it.
Miserable.
Let's try to get along. Mrs. Claxton, I don't know if you remember me. Dorothy Zbornak.
Sure, I know you. You're the one with nothing going on in your bedroom.
Why, you miserable!
Will the representative of those wanting to block the proposal please step forward?
Wish me luck.
Wait a minute, Blanche. Why should you do it?
Because we'll have a better chance. Dorothy, I happen to be a wonderful orator, and 2 of the commissioners can verify that.
Blanche, orator means speaker.
Really?
Dorothy, how would you feel if you dropped dead and nobody showed up at your funeral?
Well, it's probably a personal thing, but for me, I think dropping dead would be the bigger disappointment.
Dorothy, I want to ask you something. Last night, about 2 in the morning, did you hear some shrieking and screaming and moaning?
No, but usually if your door is closed, I can't hear anything.
Last night in the middle of the night, about 2 in the morning, did you hear some awful, terrible, ghastly sounds?
Heard him, I made him. There's a reason they put expiration dates on cottage cheese. Jean is a nice person. She happens to like girls instead of guys. Some people like cats instead of dogs. Frankly, I'd rather live with a lesbian than a cat.
I do love the rain so. It reminds me of my first kiss.
Your first kiss was in the rain.
No, it was in the shower.
How would you react if you were told that one of your kids was gay?
If one of my kids was gay, I wouldn't love him one bit less. I would wish him all the happiness in the world. Jean thinks she's in love with Rose.
Rose? Jean has the hots for Rose? I don't believe it. I do not believe it.
I was pretty surprised myself.
Well, I'll bet. To think Jean would prefer Rose over me? That's ridiculous.
Please!
Now, you tell me the truth. If you had to pick between me and Rose, who would you pick?
Blanche, pull yourself together.
Maybe she stayed in Sophia's room.
Ma, did Jean sleep with you last night?
Dorothy, there are a lot of things I want to try before I die. But that's not one of them.
Rose, that's a... Honey, it's a very catchy tune, but who wrote those lyrics?
I did. And lyrics aren't even my strong point. I just got lucky that one time.
You're gonna have to get a lot luckier than Go, Go, Go to win that $10,000. You know, Rose, I have to confess, I dabbled a little in poetry writing in high school.
Oh, well, that's nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of tall girls who couldn't get dates wrote poetry in high school.
Sounds like fun. You know, I always wanted to write a song, but it's kind of like writing poetry, which I was never any good at. Only the tall girls who couldn't get dates ever seemed to be good at poetry.
Let's take it from the top.
From the top. Oh, that sounds so musical.
Tickle the ivories, Rose.
Coochie, 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 coochie.
Rose, play or die.
On my 21st birthday, I want to see if it still has its fragrance. After all, that was 20 years ago.
Blanche, if your 21st birthday was 20 years ago, you'd only be 41.
That's right.
Gee, you look terrible for your age.
Sophia, you know people in their 70s and 80s can have great sex.
Yeah, with people in their 70s and 80s. Put me in a bedroom with Tom Cruise, and you'd be peeling me off the ceiling.
Now, don't be upset. The poor little thing was lost. He followed me home.
Oh, come on, Rose, you drive to the market. How did he follow you home? In a taxi?
I feel that you have backed me into a corner. And when I am backed into a corner, I come out fighting like a wildcat. Unless I've had too much to drink, in which case I slide down the wall and make mad, passionate love on the carpet.
And I was sworn to secrecy. Hi, Blanche.
Eat dirt and die, trash. Girls, this room looks nothing like the pictures in the brochure.
This is like a sweatbox. Oh, great. The air conditioner's not working.
Well, who needs air conditioning? We have a fresh ocean breeze and a breathtaking view.
And you look to the extreme left, and what do you see?
2 guys beating up an old lady.
Yes, sir.
The ocean?
Ta-da! I rest my case.
We'll finish off the day with a sunset hike up the mountain to explore a dormant volcano. All right, forget the volcano.
No, Rose, I just killed a mosquito on your cheek.
I'm afraid these 6 of us are going to have to share this bathroom.
I am not sharing a bathroom with 3 strange men. I don't care if it is my vacation.
You got no choice, lady. There just aren't enough Johns.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Yeah? You think we're happy having to gargle next to Grandma Moses and the Mosettes?
Get a hold of yourself.
I don't want to get a hold of myself. They invite us to go out on a boat, and then they sail us right out in the middle of a storm. We end up shipwrecked on this godforsaken island.
You ladies should be grateful. It was our superior sailing skill that saved your lives.
Hanging on to the mast and screaming, "Please, God, take the old ladies, but don't hurt us." That does not qualify as skill.
Well, since we're going to die anyway, I might as well be honest, too, Rose. I slept with your cross-eyed cousin Nolan when he visited us from Ohio. And he was lousy in bed.
I knew about that a long time ago. Nolan told me. And he said you were the one that was lousy.
Switch to Marla and you take my appointment with Jackie.
But you just told me that Jackie makes you look like a chicken.
I know, but with your nose, you could pull it off. I know what you mean, Sophia. I would never date a man unless I felt those sparks.
Well, fortunately, you carry flints in your bra.
All they do is party and carry on all hours of the night. I am abhorred.
We know what you are, Blanche. I'm glad to finally hear you admit it.
I cannot believe it is Saturday night, and I, Blanche Devereaux, the most witty, stunning, criminally sensuous woman to come out of the South since Miss Tallulah Bankhead, do not have a date.
So what? I don't have a date either.
What's your point?
Once I have you in my arms on that dance floor, Sophia, you won't so much as glance at another man.
Dream on, Piccadilly.
I just spent a half hour out in the hall talking to 2 closed doors.
Don't feel bad, Dorothy. Sometimes when I'm upset, I talk to the little pigs on my shower curtain.
And I only dropped my baton 4 times. And when I was finished, I was unanimously voted captain of the cheerleading squad.
Blanche, how was that possible?
Underneath my regulation uniform, I was wearing little black French lace panties, bearing the words, bonjour. Or was it bon appetit?
Why should I apologize? I'll tell you why, because you're nothing but a backstabbing Judas in sensible shoes.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know what you are? You're a 2-lira tramp with cheap bridge work.
May you put your dentures in upside down and chew your head off.
May your legs grow old and gnarled and withered like an olive branch. You should be so lucky.
May your moles grow hair thicker than Jerry Vales.
May your marinara sauce never cling to your pasta.
That's it. Come back here and say that to my face.
I wish I could, but I'm driving the bookmobile for the Grief Center tonight.
Oh, I thought you'd do that during the day.
I usually do, but I got tied up at work and I didn't have time, and now I feel so guilty. There are so many depressed people out there with nothing to read. Of course, when I'm depressed, I can't read. I knit. Maybe I should drive a knitmobile.
Maybe she should drive a nitwitmobile.
The back tires of a parked car. But for the most part, he just kind of kept to himself.
I think I'm beginning to see your point.
You do?
Who cares? You want to hear the sequel? Ma, I absolutely forbid you to leave this house.
I'm gonna work whether you like it or not.
Over my dead body.
Fine, have it your way.
Why don't we just show Mr. Vaughn around the theater?
Well, why don't I just do that myself, since I've had the most experience performing here?
Blanche, the parking lot doesn't count. And I just pull up stakes and run off with you.
Please reconsider, Josie. You're the prettiest girl in the county.
Shut up!
Blanche Devereaux?
Just a moment.
My rear tires have less pressure in them.
I want you to take me, Bill. Oh.
I'm afraid I popped your bosom.
Don't you worry about a thing, Patrick. My backup pair can take a lot more punishment. Now, here's something here. How about sponging?
What's that?
Says here, spongers help cool off the walkers by sponging and rubbing down their hot bodies as they pump their way through Greater Miami.
Doesn't make much sense, does it, Blanche? I mean, get them all hot and then cool them down.
Dorothy, I swear sometimes you can read my mind.
I'd like you to meet my friends. This is Dorothy.
Hello, Norman.
It's the Bride of Frankenstein.
Norman, would you like to play with the potato head?
Sure. What do you feel like doing?
Why does she keep crying like that?
Oh, she probably just misses her mother. Needs to hear a feminine voice.
And what was I doing? My Ben Gazzara impersonation?
Every time I pick her up, she stops fussing and goes right back to sleep.
Well, you shouldn't do that. The baby won't get used to sleeping alone.
Well, you never get used to sleeping alone. I haven't.
I don't know if we'd have the physical energy, but I'm sure it would be a lot easier for us after all we've been through.
What have we been through?
Yellowstone Park, Rose. Raising children. I must say, it's a lot nicer having a baby wake you up than a garbage man.
I never slept with a garbage man. I wouldn't know.
So your wife had triplets.
That's wonderful.
What are they?
That's when 3 babies are born at the same time.
Dorothy, I swear you snore worse than a sailor passed out at an adult motel after a night of unbridled passion while I had to call a cab to take me home. Oh. Listen, did you hear that sound?
Yeah, and as long as I'm in my own bed, I'll do what I want.
Take care of them, God. If anything happened, I just...
Rose, thanks for the lovely prayer. Now shut up and get into bed.
Amen.
Nice work, Dorothy.
Wasn't me.
Sweet Jesus, am I in trouble?
With all of us cramped into that bed, I had to sleep in positions I never thought possible.
Me too.
You know, Rose, you really ought to take off some of that makeup before you go to sleep.
Mr. Clown, could you do something to put smiles on the faces of 3 gloomy Gusses?
Buzz off, lady. I'm on a cigarette break.
Dorothy, of course you can. Look here. Now, you be Frank, I'll be you. Okay? Well, Frank, you know, I've been thinking, this is the 3rd Saturday of our relationship, and I don't even know what you like to eat. Why don't you come over for dinner this Saturday night and let me find out what whets your appetite?
And what are you serving for dessert, Blanche? Penicillin? I'll do it my own way.
If you do it your way, you better use Jane Fonda's body. Otherwise, it'll be just the 4 of us for dinner. Listen, I got my lucky handkerchief I can't lose.
Where did you find it?
In my bra.
Your bra? What was your lucky handkerchief doing in there?
I was blowing my breasts, Rose.
How do I look?
Beautiful. Go back and change. Oh, honey, that outfit might be all right for a gay funeral in New Orleans, but it's much too subtle for this evening. Dorothy, put on something flashy, something colorful.
Oh, that's really not me, Blanche.
I know, honey, but take a chance, be a woman.
It's an awful lot to ask, Blanche, but I'll try.
Good. Go on.
We do a lot of things real people do.
Except for one very important thing. Boy, is that going to put a hitch in Dorothy's plans. Talking about because I was in a very similar situation once, and he was a man of the cloth. Oh, totally dedicated to his vocation, or so he said. But his eyes told me he was dedicated to me. Now, we both knew it was wrong, and we fought our feelings with every bone in our hot, long, and writhing bodies. But finally, it was just too much for us, and we gave up and checked into a Best Western.
You had an affair with a priest?
Priest? I didn't say he was a priest. I said he was a man of the cloth. He was a fabric salesman. That was the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Well, how good could it have been? You left half of it.
I ate every bite.
Well, there's some sauce left. If you really liked it, you take a hunk of that bread and sop it all up. You can afford it.
Oh, no, I can't. I put on a few pounds. You just haven't noticed.
What, am I blind? I can see that. I meant the bread. You can afford the bread. It's only 89 cents a loaf. Angela, why don't you sit down? I'll serve dessert.
Gosh, you two made such a fantastic meal. I can't imagine what you came up with for dessert.
I made dessert.
Damn.
What'd you say, Blanche?
Yum, I said yum.
This is no coincidence. Everything I have, you try to steal. May the bags under your eyes grow so large your head falls in them. May your shampoo get mixed up with your preparation H and shrink your head to the size of a mushroom. Hurry, grab the bag.
Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, Rose. Rose, do you know offhand if 911 is the right number to call for a straitjacket?
Dorothy, I can explain.
I know you can. That's the scary part.
You know, what is happening between Sophia and Angela is not unlike an incident which occurred between my sister Virginia and me when we were in high school. Now, can you believe that one's very own sister could seduce her sibling's boyfriend on the eve of that sibling's senior prom?
Virginia did that to you.
No, I did that to Virginia. She deserved it. She borrowed my saddle shoes without asking. Well, what are you looking at? She scuffed those shoes. I heard her left a mark on that boy.
Open up, you tramp. I know you're in there.
Who is it?
You can run, but you can't hide.
Run, I can barely walk.
Fine, rub it in. May the hair on your lip grow in the opposite direction and get tangled in the hair coming down from your nose.
May you take a diuretic and not be able to get your pantyhose off.
Hey, what's going on here?
Taking a shower, huh? I suppose this is your loofah sponge.
Ma, why are you dressed like someone who just escaped from It's a Small World?
Come, my darling daughter. Mother has made you your favorite breakfast.
Stop the camera. Cut.
Dorothy, the director's the only one who can say when to cut. Unless the actor is big and mad.
Well, of course not, Rose. That would be childish. I am upset because I was not the center of attention and nobody said I was the prettiest.
Oh, come on now, Blanche. I mean, what difference does it make?
Oh, Dorothy, you cannot possibly begin to comprehend the terrible trauma a gorgeous woman goes through when she realizes her beauty is starting to fade.
Then who do you see when you look at me, Blanche? Joe Pepitone? You'll just have to grow old along with the rest of us.
I couldn't go on if I had to look like the two of you.
Shop in St. Olaf because of our more favorable tax laws. Now, you see why I don't like plastic surgery?
Ow! What'd you do that for?
Why should we be the only ones in pain?
How's this dress look on me?
What's the difference? In half an hour, it'll be crumpled on the floor next to an empty bottle of Jack Daniels.
What kind of a movie is this, Dorothy?
Rip his throat out!
It's a musical, Rose.
I'm a woman on a fixed income. $50 is as high as I'll go. Okay, I'm desperate. You got a deal. 60. Oh, Oh, good news, Dorothy. I got your date for the banquet.
Blanche, did it ever occur to you that possibly Rose or I might be interested in Jake?
Yes.
And you still used every cheap ploy to nab him before we had a chance?
Yeah.
Then what do you have to say for yourself?
Damn, I'm good.
He's a wonderful man.
Oh, I know. Oh, why can't I ever attract men like that?
You can, Dorothy.
Oh, Mama, you really think so?
Of course not, but you think I'm going to tell you that? I'm your mother.
Ma, you can't sleep either?
No, I'm sleeping so good I thought I'd come try it in the sink.
I am a wreck myself. I feel like this whole thing has happened to me. Like I'm the one who had my guts wrenched out and my heart stomped on. Thank you for all your support. Rose, Blanche, this is the part where my good friends are supposed to shut off the TV and run after me. So either shut off the TV or I'm going to hurl it through the window. Thank you. I'm touched.
Detective Mullins, I am Blanche Devereaux, and these are my roommates Dorothy and Rose. They're innocent. I'm not. Oh, it has all the signs of a classic love-hate relationship. And from the sparks of that conflict rise the flames of desire. Flames that ignite in an uncontrollable frenzy of lust, passion, and ecstasy. Oh, my pulse was racing, my heart was pounding. I could barely get my breath. I think that's the most fun I've ever had standing up. No, I take it back. There was that one time on that 740.
They keep talking about that noodle head in the red dress. Could that be code language?
Only to the noodle head in the red dress. Did you finish the decorations, Rose?
No, not yet. I kind of got sidetracked. Look.
This is what you've been doing for the past 45 minutes.
Isn't he cute? I call him Scotty.
Now you can call him garbage.
Birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, boys and girls, happy birthday to you. Welcome to Mr. Ha-Ha's Hot Dog Hacienda. It's fun to eat. A hot dog is really good. A hot dog is a great big treat.
Dorothy, you haven't even touched your Mr. Ha-Ha dog.
You're right. I touched it.
The one who always complains that her birthday parties are dull and boring. When I saw Mr. Ha-Ha's advertised on television, it looked like fun.
Yeah, for a 5-year-old, Rose. Or someone who thinks like one.
Now it's time for the Mr. Ha-Ha birthday roundup. When I call your name, please come up on stage. Bobby Spina!
Please say you didn't do this.
Jeannie Taylor!
Please tell me you didn't do this.
Dorothy Sporta! Get up on stage, Dorothy.
Get bent, Ha-Ha.
Dorothy! Well, it says here on my Ha-Ha birthday list that Bobby is 7, Jeannie is 9, and Dorothy is...
I'll punch your heart out, Ha-Ha.
Dorothy is the oldest! And as the oldest, you get to lead the birthday parade! Here is your parade leader's hat. Mr. Music, if you please.
Don't prolong this. I know what car you drive, Ha-Ha.
The parade's over! Let's hear it for all the birthday boys and girls!
You want to go to college where there are green lawns and willow trees and young men in chinos and ties and professors with just a touch of gray at the temple. Wise, learned men who look up your skirt if you're sitting in the first row. Meetings with them so they can explain Plato. And they lean over your books with you, and you can smell their pipe tobacco and their maleness. And then their arm accidentally brushes against your bosoms, and the room is filled with the heat of a taboo lust.
He met a thin, blonde goddess.
Uh-huh.
One of those girls who has everything, you know, looks, money, brains, a body, and now my boyfriend.
Oh, honey, I've been in that position more than once.
You've been in every position more than once.
My position?
Oh, goodness, no. The goddess position. We have our problems, too.
Especially when the goddess is twice the size she used to be. The loss of your first love is the worst, the very worst.
Oh, I know. I remember mine.
It was probably a cow. How on earth did you know that, Sophia? Wild guess.